Hello, Maeya TV. Welcome back for another week full of great interviews. I'm Jessica Haro, and I'm here with Stephan Caddell. He's an actor and a comedian. Stephan, thank you so much for being here.
Well, I'm glad to be here. You know, it's definitely a pleasure. I appreciate it.
So, Stephan, tell us about yourself and the work that you do.
You know what I've been doing? Well, I mean, I do stand-up comedy and acting, and of course, I've been doing the comedy for a while, for about 20 years now. So stand-up is what I really started doing, and eventually the acting ended up just coming, right along down the line. And I pretty much have fun doing it. It's pretty much therapeutic in some cases.
So, how'd you get involved in comedy?
You know what was funny about it is that, I never really been a knock joke telling type of person. You know what I'm saying? So, I always just called it, I just told it like it is and call it what I see it. So, and people told me I'd be doing comedy for a long time until one day when, when I saw it was an opportunity to go to an open mic at a comedy store in La Jolla. And wild part about it, I had a half pint of wild turkey in my back pocket. And half of that half pint was gone. Ain't no use to me lying. So I went in, did the open mic. They told me I did good, so they told me to come on back, and I just kept coming back and coming back. A year went by when I went to a show down in San Diego in 4th and B, and I just happened to, it was a comedy show. The guy that was hosting the show, the comedian that was hosting the show was comedian L.J. Brown, king of the IE. Anybody knows king of Inland Empire. He's a legend in the Inland Empire. And so when I had my comedy CDs for us, 5-minute skit on each one, I gave him one. And, he gave me his card. I gave him mine. And 3 weeks later, we got in touch with each other, talked. And next thing you know, he put me in a comedy contest in, it was in Upland, California, in Old Ball Brewery. That was back in, 2007, wow. And so the comedy contest was a great experience. I loved it. I ended up coming in 5th place because it was a lot of good comedians. I mean, give shouts out to all the comedians that entered that contest. And we all had a good time, fun and all that good stuff. And from that point, the rest was history. I just kept doing it, doing a lot of comedy skits over the years and shows and hitting comedy clubs, and even did participated in a tour early last year around this time. Mainly just up and down the West Coast, in cities like in San Diego, San Francisco, of course Phoenix, Arizona, and of course in Las Vegas, of course. And wow, it's been pretty fun. So,
how would you describe your comedy?
Raw and uncut, and of course with a message right along with that. Things that will make you laugh and think at the same time. And at the same time, I'll have you thinking like, wait a minute, did he just say that? Wow, I can't believe that. But at the same time, it's like it's like the message that I give across will have you even think even more deeper, and then pretty much, hey, who knows? It might influence some people to do certain things that probably be on the straight and narrow path. You just never know.
Are there any comedians who have influenced you?
Wow. Oh, man. You know what? It took me a long while. It took me years for me to realize who my comedy influences were. And when I deeply thought about it, matter of fact, I realized, it was like 5 years ago, I just realized that comedians like the late Rudy Ray Moore's Dolomite, the late Red Fox, the late Robin Harris, the late Bernie Mac, Don D.C. Curry, Andrew Dice Clay, and of course, the legendary rapper Willie D from the Ghetto Boys, in which, even though I know he's not a comedian, but when you listen to his music, he has a whole lot of punchlines without him even realizing that he has a whole lot of punchlines. So Those were definitely, my influences. And I pretty much, give a shout out to all those great comedians that pretty much just paved the way, for other raw and uncut comedians to, pretty much just speak up for the have-nots and pretty much just speak the truth.
Now, what is it about stand-up comedy that has kept you going for 20 years?
I guess it's just therapeutic. Certain things that, you can't, that people don't really speak about, I pretty much just speak up on it, That's one of the things. And of course, it's one of those things where, when you grasp that audience, at the end of the show, it might be that one or two people, they'd be like, wow, I can't believe you done went through that. I done went through that same thing, I didn't, went through that situation or went through that situation. And, it pretty much inspired them to even be like, what? Hey, it's time to, do a better thing and make a change.
So in addition to stand-up, you've also ventured into acting. How did you get involved in that?
Well, it was just out of coincidence where one day I happened to see an ad online, and it was for, Gloria Allred, We the People, the court show. And I remember that, when I got casted for that, then it was out of coincidence I got casted for it. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess I fit the description. So I went on and did the show, and it came out real good. People still watch it to this day. And man, that it just opened up more doors for me where I just started going to different casting calls and all that stuff, and just started just doing a lot, from that point. It ended up leading to me doing extra roles and acting, including extra role in Straight Outta Compton, Bar Rescue Long Beach with John Taffer, all the way up to definitely doing background work and comedy skits and certain rap videos and stuff like that, all the way to the movie that I'm in now called Temperature Rising, that's on Tubi, produced by Oba Oswald.
So tell us about the projects that you're working on. I know you worked on this film that is on Tubi. I believe you have another one coming out with that same producer.
Yes, another film that's coming on Tubi pretty soon. It's called Chances. That's another movie that's produced by Oba Oswald as well. And shouts out to Oba Oswald for making good movies and making great progress. Hey, I love it.
What has it been like to work with them?
You know what? It's been fun. He makes sure that he gets the job done, and he makes sure that he does a magnificent job in just making sure that the actors have a good way of just putting everything together. And I mean, that's the great thing about it. I pretty much appreciate his input on things and stuff like that, in which he also makes it fun for us to do it as well. And right along with just telling the story that he wrote that, hey, things that people need to see, even though it's entertainment and it's a movie, but it does have certain messages in there that you can pick up as well.
Now, in addition to the projects that you're working on there, you also have your own YouTube channel where you're making skits. Yes,
my YouTube channel, Mr. Night Train 1, in which you can definitely see a lot of all my comedy skits, even comedy shows I have done in the past, all the way to present at comedy clubs and different venues and stuff like that, all the way to even some of the acting stuff I did, just little, skits here and there, even a little bit of poetry as well. But even in my comedy skits, you can also see in the background of my artwork that I have done over the years as well. So whenever you look at my skits, you can see that it's all original as possible. It's all me. Nobody else. I just make sure that I just stay original as possible, and hey, just hey, get an audience of everything of me that I can give them.
So has your background in stand-up influenced your acting?
Well, I remember that looking at other comedians that branched off into acting. Let's just say that they influenced me even more, because it was like when I used to watch other comedians, such as Don D.C. Curry on Friday After Next, the late Bernie Mac, even to another comedian, Scruncho. Most shouts out to him, with him doing some acting as well, Mike Epps, all that stuff. And I see how they use their, comedy and blend it in with the acting. And I was like, and they really just being themselves. And to me, that was the great thing about that too. No matter what roles that they got, they made sure that they played that role, but they put more of themselves into it. And to me, that's like a great thing.
What kind of roles do you want to play in the future?
Well, lately I played a lot of, roles as detectives and cops and all that stuff. That's funny to me, which is cool. Of course, I have, played, bodyguard, and of course I wouldn't mind I like to do some biker roles as well, because I knew I knew a couple of actors that played in Sons of Anarchy, and that was one of my favorite shows. And the Mayans as well. I wish they came out with one for the Grim Bastards. That'd be cool. But but yeah. But of course, but also, roles that I know that will be positively influenced as well. Even if it's that, person that's out into action, but at the same time it'll be a positive role where they pretty much just saving lives.
So you mentioned a lot that you like acting in roles that have positive message. So it's really important to you that how the message of the work that you're doing, right? Yeah.
It's always important, because it's like if you think about just TV as a whole, it can be a big influence. Some use it in a negative way, unfortunately, and some use it in a positive way. Hey, why not just just do it in a positive way and just give people more input for them to think, for them to improvise within themselves. The decision is on them, of course, but hey, at least it'll give them something to be like, wait a minute. Okay.
What message do you want people to take away from your comedy?
That's a good question. Basically just to know what's really going on in this world. Just to know what's really happening out here. You know what I'm saying?
Where do you hope your career will go in the future?
I just hope it just goes up, in the highest level as much as possible, without all the negative inputs, and without all the stuff that I totally disagree with. If people out there know what I mean.
Well, Stephan, where can our viewers find out more about you and the work that you're doing?
You can go check out my Instagram page, Night Train 107 _. Of course, you can also see more of my work on diabolicjams.biz. And also, you can definitely see more of my work on my YouTube page. Again, Mr. Night Train 1.
Well, Stephan, thank you so much for coming on Maeya TV. Viewers, thank you so much for watching.
Yeah.
Please stay tuned. We have more interviews coming up. Bye. Bye.
Yes, indeed.